It is time for my favorite segment of all time. This week in Shohei Otani news, we're going to talk about his historic home run the other day, and honestly, his historic start at the plate to this season. So let's start with that historic home run he hit the other day. Number 175 on his career in Major League Baseball, tying Hideki Matsui for the most home runs in Major League Baseball by a Japanese-born player already in his career, which is absolutely insane. So I think by the time we're doing this segment next week, we'll be talking about him hopefully passing Hideki Matsui for the most home runs by a Japanese-born player in Major League Baseball. That's a lot to spit out all at once, but I did it twice in a row there. But honestly, this is really cool to see. He did it very early on in his Major League Baseball career, and really cool to see, and many more to come for Shohei. But let's not, like, Hideki Matsui was a great player in Major League Baseball, an all-time great coming out of Japan. For Shohei to already tie him is really cool.
Yeah, but when we talk about Shohei Otani, we're talking about a once-in-a-generational player, once-in-a-lifetime player here, right? He's not only going to break probably every Japanese player record, but he's going to be breaking some of the all-time Major League Baseball records. So this is incredible to see. It's the first of many he's going to hit throughout his career. But also, we talked about this. We knew he was going to be incredible at the plate this season because he was just focusing on his hitting, right? Normally, he is a unanimous two-time MVP for being a two-way player. And this year, he's just hitting, and it's already off to an incredible start.
It is off to an incredible start. Obviously, that milestone of a homer. But at the plate this year, I remember it wasn't so long ago, Alex. It was just about 2 weeks ago when the conversation was had of, what is Shohei starting the year a little bit slower? And even then, I was like, well, wait a second. I think he was hitting like 270 at the time. The power numbers hadn't come yet, but he was putting good swings on the ball. So my literal conversation today, on this exact day of the week, 2 weeks ago, was, let's pump the brakes. The guy's putting good swings on the ball. It looks like he's feeling good at the plate. And this time next week, he'll have double the RBIs and at least double the homers. And he did that. And now we have another week where he absolutely dominated at the plate. Last week, he hit 435, another homer, 2 RBIs, stole 3 bases, and a 1.114 OPS on the week. So from April 11th to April 17th, just more dominant numbers. And it got me thinking.
Yeah.
Shohei was the unanimous MVP last year again. Now, I understand a lot of that, and a big reason of the unanimous decision was because he was pitching at an elite rate for the majority of the season until he got hurt. But I was thinking, well, he had the best offensive year of his career last year, and it feels like, new team, the gambling situation, the marriage, getting married. There was just so much happening.
Recovering from the major injury, Tommy John surgery.
Major surgery in the offseason, or at the end of, offseason end of last year. Still recovering from that. New team, new location. And it still felt like, man, this guy's putting up some good numbers. Well, let me tell you about those numbers. Last year, at this time, at this exact date last year, Shohei was hitting 266 with an 825 OPS, 5 homers, 13 RBIs, and 1 stolen base. Pretty good numbers to this point. And this year, with all of those factors I just said, 360 average, a 1.040 OPS, 4 homers, 10 RBIs, and 4 stolen bases. So average, obviously, through the roof at this point. He's 6th in all of baseball in average. He's tied for first in hits. He's first in baseball in doubles. So new team, all of that. He's absolutely dominating at the plate right now. And then we talk about the stolen base numbers. I said this before the season started. Look, let's not just assume, okay, I think Shohei's going to have a good year offensively, but he's not pitching this year. So look for him to commit to doing everything he can on the offensive side. And with him not pitching, I bet he is going to steal a lot more bases this year and maybe get into the 20, 30 plus stolen base numbers. And already we're seeing him have 4 this year. He had 1 at this point last year. So he's dominating at the plate. It's a lot of fun It's just a lot of fun to watch him hit right now. And that lineup with Mookie and Shohei back to back, Freddie's not even doing Freddie Freeman things right now. And that offense is honestly dominating the front half of it. They have some depth issues in that lineup right now with, Chris Taylor, Gavin Lux really struggling at the back end of that lineup. But the first two guys are doing even more so what they're supposed to be doing. So he had a great season last year offensively, career numbers this year, by and away, better so far. So already, Alex, a 1.1 WAR on the season. WAR can be a complicated stat to understand, but he's on pace as a DH, as a designated hitter, to have an 8.5 WAR season, which is absolutely remarkable. It's insane. The guy is hitting 360 on the year already, or right now with those 10 RBIs. And let's not forget, Mookie's leading the world in pretty much everything that Shohei's not.
Yes.
Shohei would have a lot more RBIs if Mookie wasn't driving all those guys in. So historic start to his Dodgers career.
And it's just, again, like just to remind everybody how incredible it is to see these numbers for someone who's coming off of a major injury and dealing with some crazy off-field drama, and that should not go unnoticed. We heard Dave Roberts talk about it the other day, saying you never learn about a person until they go through some adversity, whether on the field or in this case off the field, and I learned that he is unflappable. And it's really cool to see his personalities coming out more. We're seeing him do more interviews in English. They did some sort of like cleat thing. He was explaining his shoes on one of the national broadcasts this weekend. It was just, it's cool to see him come out of his shell more, and not something like this can very easily deter someone a different direction, right?
Absolutely.
But the best of the best know how to take something bad and turn it into something great. And that's what he's doing on the field.
If there was one thing for him this year if you can point at and say, man, you got to get a little bit better here, I believe he's like 1 for 19 with runners in scoring position, which is typically a place that he's good at. So from what I've seen there, just swinging he's extra aggressive early in the counts with runners in scoring position. But a lot of people pointing at those numbers. Look, I will point at these season numbers. I've seen a lot of hard hit balls with runners in scoring position, some bad luck there at times. So I'm honestly not too concerned at all about those numbers. His career numbers say that'll get turned around, and his exit velocity on those balls say that it'll get turned around. So, Alex, you talking there kind of reminded me of a little something that I just saw. Our own Disha Thosar wrote an article for Fox Sports. I think it was on Thursday I saw it, about sort of the absence of Ippei in the locker room for Shohei, and how it's just allowing, like, it's just really like opened up everything at every single turn, every interview, everything he did. Ippei was right by his side.
It was a safety blanket.
And now it's more like that's filled by teammates and staff, and he's doing a lot. He's doing those interviews, some of them in English if he's comfortable doing it, and doing a lot more stuff on social media. And it is just cool. And look, the situation sucks. It's awful. It's a friend of his that did something really wrong.
Family.
But I do think now maybe, like, hopefully over time this can become like a little bit of like a freeing situation where you feel
lining.
like that.
You got to find the silver lining in every bad situation. And for Otani, it's opening him up to his new teammates, his new franchise, everybody that he's with, and he's actually excelling even better on the field this year than he was last year, which was his unanimous MVP season. So you got to find the silver lining and the positive part of every negative situation. And for Otani, it's off to a pretty good start.
Off to an absolutely great start.
Pretty good start.
The historic home run to tying Hideki Matsui, the great start at the plate, hitting 360 at the plate. And I hope he keeps it up.